Hello people, and welcome back to another guide video. Today I'll be talking about the Core of Doom. So, the Core of Doom are a pretty annoying material to get your hands on. There are a few ways to get it. The first being beating the 11th seal or Perseverance stage, the final stage of the 11th seal, which will grant you 1. Clearing a Calamitous stage, which come back every month. That will give you 1. Clearing the achievement of those Calamitous stages, that will give you 2. And then clearing the monthly challenge level 10, that will give you 1. And then farming in chain battles, that will also give you 1. So apart from chain battles, which come back intermittently, and the 11th seal, which once you beat, you can't, beat again. Calamitous stages, there are currently 6 in the game. Each one will give you 3 if you clear them and do their achievements. They come back every month, at the start of every month, so don't worry if you don't catch them. And then for the monthly challenges, they don't come back, but there are new ones every month, so there's no rush for that either. However, all of the stages that I just outlined are quite hard, so I decided that I would make this video to evaluate what is the best use of the Core of Doom. So the Cores of Doom can be used to make Corrupted Seal bosses, and the Corrupted Seal bosses can be used to make nuclei. Nuclei are dragonware, and there are 6 seal bosses and therefore 6 nuclei right now. The boss can be made into the nuclei, and nuclei can be equipped on the same race as the boss. The best reliable way right now to get Cores of Doom is to clear the Calamitous stages and also their achievements. If you just do a quick search, you'll find some guides. And I've also, not made all the stuff because I'm kind of lazy. So I feel it wouldn't be fair to, for me to evaluate all of them because I haven't made them. And so I've invited someone who actually has made all of this and knows what they're talking about and makes guide videos. Welcome, TOSHT.
Hello everyone, I'm TOSHT. Today, I'm thank you to TY2002 welcoming me.
Alright, thanks for coming on. So, there are currently 6 Corrupted Seal bosses and 6 nuclei. So, in the tier list, we're just gonna briefly discuss what is the best use of the Cores of Doom, since Cores of Doom are a pretty hard to get material, especially for new players.
I guess starter for the seal bosses first.
Okay, sure. Okay, Saruman, I think I would actually rank this in a, if you have Daji, or even for elves in general, I think this is a first priority, right?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. His fixed board is really good.
Fixed board, and then he have Regardless Puzzle and also Initial Shield.
I just also want to say a big point actually for not making or not using the seal bosses is team cost, because even for me it's when I put a Corrupted Seal boss in the team, I'm 2 or 3 away from my max team cost sometimes.
One costs each of the seal boss is 70. Is not a best choice for the newbies start to doing this, because except they level up their level until 400 plus, around 450. I just need to test sometimes as well. Yeah,
so that would be the only point, I guess, against the good Corrupted boss. Moving on to Fenrir, the second seal boss. I don't know if this card is bad or there just hasn't been a good beast leader, because I haven't even made this card. But
for the Fenrir,
yeah, what do you think?
You can put last priority, because until right now I never used it for single once, and his skills a little bit weird, because it just clear half of the maybe some or returning the normal stats out for the rooms.
Yeah, it can only convert half of the board depending on where it's are, which is yeah. And I think the only good thing I guess about this is that it can restore the board, but once again I think that's probably because there hasn't been a good beast leader, so nobody's really used this card. Next up will be Odin.
Odin can be put. I think can put first priority.
Oh really? Have you used this card a lot.
Even though I didn't use, but his skills is quite good.
I think okay. My initial ranking of this, like when this came out, I thought it was quite a good card as well. But also it is very repetitive. So like the main point of this, right? There's initial shield, and then there's puzzle shield and quinta elemental shield. Nowadays, everyone can solve quinta elemental shield. There are like maybe like 5 dark gods that can break initial shield, and then like and then that only leads puzzle shield. But then like the puzzle shield and quinta elemental shield are only when your draconic is 0, and then I think that's a very difficult condition to get to. So
it's a very difficult condition to get to. So
yeah, so that's just
maybe
that's why I think
neutral.
like he's not that good of a card. Like I would rank him on neutral.
I agree with you, lah.
Yeah, there hasn't really been like a god leader that can like that has a draconic effect. Next up is Diablo. I think this will be like still first priority, but definitely behind Saruman. I've used him like a few times in Dodgy as well, but it's mainly once again for the fixed board, right?
And then one is fixed board, one is return on or return to the normal stats. The fixed board, but I can say that the fixed board it's just like a bit weak.
Oh, you actually think I think it's like actually fine because the second skill has inbuilt like CD reduction, so I think like the fact that it can allow itself to be activated faster, I think. But it seems like it's either first priority behind Saruman or neutral in front of Odin. What do you think?
I think it's behind the Saruman.
Okay, yeah. Next up is Nidhogg. Okay, these cards are like a bit new. I haven't made this card in all honesty, but I think this card solves a very niche shield, and that's the reason why I don't think it's the first priority. It might be like bottom neutral. That's my rank. But what about you?
If neutral, I don't think so, because honestly, until now, I didn't ready for it. I haven't do this time because according to the skills, right, it's just like they're a bit quite challenging, and so it's very hard to activate. Especially the second skill, it need the craft 100% to have that 33 combo, and maybe use Wasi, just like singly dissolved, or just like singly dissolved, and then just like with a fixed rule, maybe like Home Eye.
I think that's kind of specific, but yeah, I agree with you that sometimes like the condition is hard to meet. But also, like some people don't have Fossy, right? Like I actually don't have Fossy.
But I can say that it's not quite useful, but it's not bad. So I can guess to a neutral, but
in front or behind of Odin.
Behind of Odin, because actually the AD combo for Dragon right now is quite a lot. If you have Jishen.
Right. Yeah, I think, but Jishen is slowly falling off as a leader, right? Well, the reason why I would argue that for putting Nidhogg in front of Odin is because I think 100% in your Draconic is easier to get to than 0% in your Draconic.
I agree with you.
So moving on to Lucifer. This is like a extremely new card. I haven't made this.
Oh yes, I have.
Oh, you have.
I have. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. What do you think of it? After I read the skills, I was like, this is okay. The fixed board is a bit weird.
But I can say that it only used in certain situations. Almost probably is combo nullifying and combo shield. I can say is also neutral as well. Right?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking like this card is like, even though this card's skill is like good, it's like pretty niche, and there's no like good leader right now. I honestly think it's like maybe top of last priority, because like I think like your cores would be better spent on like anything else, right? Other than Fenrir.
A little bit disappointment is why it didn't give the enchanted runes. Enchanted runes, it can be adding more, maybe more buff for the multiplier. Moving
on to the Dragonware, then I guess we'll rank maybe like them by race. Like, so there are 2 elf ones, right? The first seal and the fourth seal.
I mainly use is first seal craft, because for the second point of the Dragon craft, by dissolving Elf Runestone, the character's artifact and 1.5 additionally.
So I would you say like first priority?
Yes, first
Yeah.
priority.
Well, I mean, this is like kind of like comparing apples and oranges, but would you make this before like Saruman or like something or?
When I met this is after Saruman.
Right.
Yes, after
So
Saruman.
before Diablo.
Yes.
Okay.
Before Diablo.
Interesting rank. And then for the fourth seal one, what would you rank?
For the
that
fourth skill one, I can say put last priority.
Oh wow! Actually, I think okay. The reason why I made this actually was for Overheal Shield, but I would put it in neutral because Overheal Shield is like rare, but it's not that rare. This would be the assumption that if you already have the first seal one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I guess. Look, I'll put it bottom neutral. But if you already have the first seal one, then yeah, I would not recommend you make this. Moving on to the second seal one. This was actually used like quite a bit, like when it first came out. I think people were like, "Oh, just make Fenrir into the dragon lair." But then now there aren't any good beast leaders. So, but I think like independent of that, what do you think?
I can say is for this dragon way, for this nuclear dragon way, if you play most probably like you play the beast thing, you can do this one first as priority. If don't, right, I can say is Odin as last priority. If you have a good beast member, also beast leader, just like Chloe, or incoming water beast black god card, maybe you can ready this first. But right now, I can say you can Odin.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the third. Wait, what is this? This is the third and the sixth, right?
Odin's.
Yeah, Odin's and Lucifer's. So this.
All right.
I haven't made this simply because once again there are no good god teams. But the attack multipliers are actually quite good on this one.
Upon this two, right, mostly I use right is Odin's one. That's how you say it's a great multiplier, especially the skill one. It's like when you activate the skill, right, the character attacks increase 1.5, and then together with the second skills, right, if you dissolve a group of 5 or more runestones in first phase, right, the character attack from 1.5 again. So I just like this one is much better than Lucifer Nuclear Striker.
Yeah, so we could put this at last priority, probably like here.
Yes, last priority.
Actually, no, but behind the cards even, I would say.
Yeah, the behind the card.
And then for Odin's, where would you say this? Because
in front of Diablo.
Oh, you think this is like okay?
Yes, because why this craft is getting up because of Tsuyo, Uria, and also others are.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't put it like I wouldn't put it like in front of Diablo though. Still, maybe I would put like behind Diablo because I think I don't know, there aren't that many good like god teams right now. Obviously, you said Shio and Aurea. Aurea's like fallen off pretty hard. I mean, Shio
right now is falling pretty up.
Yeah, and Shio is okay, but it's also like going out of
right now is start to going out.
Yeah. Okay, and then last the nucleus for Nidhogg. This is a very interesting one because, like, well, first off, the HP boost is pretty sizable because especially it's for dragons. The other thing is, it can be used for War Greymon to like instantly activate the draconic power because this is like such a this is such a part of the core strategy of like how you play War Greymon that I'm not sure where to put it because if you have War Greymon and you put this in. This is like a really good one, but then if you don't, it's like an average one.
The ranking of this nucleus is like going so bad until behind the Lucifer. After War Greymon came up, and then with his team skills, which is launched extra attack 5 times, suddenly this dragon is become a favorite.
With the condition that you have War Greymon, I think I would put it I would put it behind, right in front of Diablo, I think.
Yes. Like
the last point would just be like, if you have the team cost, then Saruman first. If you have Dodgy, then the Saruman's Croft first. And if you have War Greymon, then Nidhogg's Croft first. Alright, well, thank you for coming on.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah. like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!